Welcome, parents. My name is Miss Seacrest, and I couldn't be more excited to teach your kids this year. I'm 30 years old, I'm engaged to be married next year, and I have a 17-month-old daughter. I hold a bachelor's degree in German language and culture, and I've just earned my master's degree in early childhood education, and this is my first year teaching preschool. As a leader in early childhood education, I will be dedicated to the proper, safe, and healthy development in all aspects of a child's life, while conducting myself in a professional, honorable fashion. I will treat each and every child and their families with love, respect, and understanding, constantly and consistently advocating for their best interests. I will continue my own education and self-reflection in my passion to better the lives of children and to erase my own ignorance in anything that has the possibility to contribute to any regression. I will dedicate myself and my time to the betterment of the programs and the schools in my community. I will uphold and display the standards and expectations set forth for educators on both a state and national level, setting an example of standard for newcomers and observers. I will uphold the ethical and moral obligations required for the profession and to go beyond these requirements by setting exceptional standards for myself based on my own experience and research so that I can truly make an impact in the profession and with the children and families that I serve. Collaborating effectively together, we create seamless care with fewer mistakes and less confusion or tension between home and school, which leaves the door open for positive connections to be built around the concept of schools and the learning environment. I feel like with the time we live in, there are so many negative things associated with schools that the media highlights, like shootings and bullying. Parents see these tragedies on the news and in social media and have an unconscious stigma associated with school and its overall environment. That may make them apprehensive, on their guard, and especially when it comes to leaving their child in a place that can possibly be unsafe and even harmful. It is my goal to create effective bonds with the kids and families with which I work, to break those barriers and to prove those stigmas wrong, and let them know that there are teachers who deeply care and have an intense passion for molding the young minds of the world so that they have the tools they need to make it a better place. It is essential for me to connect with you as the children's family members so that I can acknowledge and teach them the aspects of the different cultures that surround them, including their own. As the U.S. Department of Education states, today's students need to be prepared to succeed with a more diverse and more global workforce than ever before. I can only understand how to create my own teaching strategies by discovering what a child already knows. And the only way I can discover this is to connect with you, their families, and to obtain a deeper, more significant connection about your children and their behaviors. For example, one student might not be eating sufficiently, one student might not be sleeping at home, and another might be experiencing divorce or another trauma within their family. Understanding the sociocultural context of my students and their individual lives helps me to determine developmentally appropriate practices within my own classroom and the curriculum as well, to ensure that I don't condense the curriculum and end up teaching developmentally inappropriate material, creating unnecessary stress. Understanding the socio-cultural context of your children also helps me to know how to shape the educational environment and which community resources to utilize that contributes to the child's development, growth, and learning in the best ways, and ways in which they can also possibly relate to depending on their own personal cultures and experiences. This cultural acceptance and incorporation also enables children to develop an awareness of, respect for, and appreciation of the individual cultural differences they experience. Encountering sociocultural subjects at an early age, such as during these preschool years, has a positive influence on the children's future educational lives, and it is also shown to have a significant and lasting impact on children's academic achievement as well. Incorporating this acceptance and anti-bias teaching will create a loving, warm, honest environment where children know that it is the most constructive thing for them just to be themselves. World when technology rules us and determines our actions and decisions and even our lifestyles and livelihoods, it's so important that we maintain a personal, tangible, real relationship. Having constructive, effective communication allows educators and parents to establish consistency, creating that and strengthening that bond between home and school that's necessary for the stability and predictability in these children's lives that translates to the comfort and trust that they need in this early stage of learning. It allows us to get to know our students and their parents on a more personal level, which facilitates early intervention, and it gives us the opportunity to be the personification of trust and dependability, knowing that we will keep them safe, healthy, and happy. My first step in creating these partnerships with you as their family members is the questionnaire that I have given to you all upon your arrival today. I would like to sit down with each of you for a few minutes during this open house so that we can go over the questionnaire together, so I can answer any questions that you might have, and so that I can also gain an impression of the relationship between you and your child. It will also allow me to gain some perspective on how your child reacts to new situations, as well as your own personal feelings about our program. Having had previous experience working with preschool students, I understand how stressful the first days of school can be for the children and their families. The information obtained from these first few meetings will allow me to create a more comfortable setting and incorporate more familiar aspects of the children's lives into the classroom and into our activities so that they can relate to school initially and establish happy feelings with their new learning environment. Families throughout time have experienced change and been challenged by the stressors prevalent in the context of their era. Today, society demands more from individuals and families, requiring higher educational levels, more job training, increased time on the job, and more job-related time, consequently spending less time with their families and loved ones. As a leader in early childhood education and as a preschool teacher in general, it is imperative for me to maintain constant communication with the families of my students in effort to reduce the stress and worry that is so prevalent in today's society. I will utilize the benefits of daily notes, phone calls, as well as emails and even texts to inform you all about any emergencies, happenings, and news in the classroom and at school, both good and not so good. I will be sending out a weekly newsletter every Friday, letting you all know what we've learned in class, the activities we've done, as well as activities we've planned for the future, such as field trips and concerts. In the weekly newsletter, I will also be listing a number of activities and resources that you can utilize in order to continue the curriculum teachings and classroom projects at home, depending on the subject for the week. This will allow you to spend quality time with your little ones and maintain positive connections between school and home. I would also strongly encourage you to personally visit our classroom during the day if and whenever you can. If you would like to send me a notice when you want to visit, I can plan the day accordingly, incorporating you and your talents and interests into the lessons for the day. If you're unable to give notice before your visit, no problem. Of course, you're more than welcome to stay as long as you like. You can observe or join in with the children in their centers or recess or lunch and special classes like gym and music, spending time and having fun with their learning. I will also be in need of field trip chaperones, and like I said, I will notify you all of any and all upcoming field trips in the weekly newsletter. I will also send out emails and texts informing you of the dates, times, and locations of these events before sending out permission slips. The duties for these chaperones will be engaging in the environments and the learning that takes place, keeping attendance, and monitoring behavior. I also strongly encourage you to join the school's PTA program. This will allow you to be involved in supporting the school and all of its students, as well as your own, through helping with fundraisers that enable us to buy new playground equipment and take fun field trips, as well as having a voice in the decisions that the school makes. It is my personal and professional goal to facilitate the health, happiness, and safety and appropriate development of each and every one of my students, but I cannot achieve this goal without your help. By getting to know you all better, I can know your children on a more personal level and make better curriculum connections that strengthen the link between your child's home life and their school life. This being particularly important in preschool, being one of their first educational experiences in most cases. By strengthening the connection between home and school, we can become effective partners in your preschooler's educational journey, as well as their overall development and growth. This bond will not only benefit you and I, but your children will benefit endlessly from your involvement in their schooling as well. The attachment in a parent-child relationship forms the basis for a child to trust or not trust their environment, and this also applies for the people within that environment. If they observe our trusting relationship, they will feel more comfortable and relaxed and safe in the school environment and with me. More than anything, establishing and maintaining our close partnerships will instill a positive sense of self-worth in your kids by demonstrating to them that we value and respect each other's opinions, thoughts, actions, and decisions. This will mirror in your child's self-esteem and confidence as well. I can't tell you how excited I am to begin this journey and to get to know each and every one of you and your children more personally. Joining you in raising these amazing young minds to shape and change the world is an incredible experience, and I'm extremely lucky to be able to do it as my profession on a daily basis. You all are your children's first and most effective teachers and educators, and we share a similar goal to see these children succeed and be happy. So please help me in our joint efforts to assist our children and ourselves to succeed in all of our endeavors.